organizations embark into the world of generative AI, it's critical to address the ethical implications of this transformative technology. For example, one of the most significant ethical concerns with generative AI is the potential for misinformation. AI generated content can spread false or misleading information, which impacts individuals, communities, and even society at large. Also, as generative AI becomes more pervasive, ensuring accountability becomes paramount. Who is responsible for the content generated by AI systems, and how can we hold them accountable for the consequences of that content? From an ethics perspective, there's a lot of concerns and considerations to keep in mind when using generative AI. In fact, one of the most obvious concerns is fake news. Fake news is a pressing issue that comes up with generative AI technology. AI generated content can mimic authentic news sources, leading to the dissemination of misinformation and the erosion of trust in reliable journalism. Another ethical concern is deepfakes. Deepfakes are AI generated media that convincingly manipulates visual and audio content. Deepfakes can deceive individuals and have serious implications for privacy and public trust. Generative AI can also challenge copyright laws and ownership rights. Determining the ownership of AI generated content raises complex legal questions that require careful consideration. AI model bias is another critical ethical concern. If AI models are trained on biased data, they can perpetuate and even amplify existing societal biases, leading to unfair and discriminatory outcomes. Now, to address these ethical concerns, we need to establish clear principles for generated AI development and deployment. First and foremost, generative AI must adhere to ethical principles that prioritize the well being and rights of individuals and society as a whole. Compliance with existing laws and regulations is obviously essential. Generative AI applications must operate within legal boundaries and respect intellectual property rights and privacy laws. Generative AI systems should be designed to be robust and resilient, ensuring that they operate effectively and ethically under various conditions and use cases. A comprehensive ethics framework is really important for guiding the development and implementation of generative AI systems. Any framework that's implemented needs to prioritize human autonomy and decision making. This helps to make sure that AI systems augment human capabilities rather than replace them. And one way to do this is through a process called human in the middle, which is about having a person review and approve AI output. Preventing harm is a fundamental principle of the ethics framework. Generative AI systems should be designed to minimize potential harm to individuals and society. Justice and fairness must be at the core of generative AI ethics. AI systems should not perpetuate or exacerbate existing inequalities and biases. It should work to be as inclusive as possible. Ensuring explicability is critical. Users and stakeholders should understand how AI systems arrive at their decisions to maintain transparency and accountability. And finally, it's worth asking ourselves, what are some examples of specific ethical requirements that generative AI should meet? Well, an obvious requirement is accountability. Accountability is essential for any AI system. Developers and organizations must take responsibility for the actions and the outcomes of their AI models. Next is transparency. Transparency is key to building trust in generative AI. Users should be aware that they're interacting with an AI system and understand its capabilities and limitations. AI systems should also be designed and trained to be fair and unbiased, promoting diversity and inclusivity in their responses and decisions. And of course, there's privacy and governance. Respecting privacy is crucial in generative AI. User data should be handled securely and with proper consent, ensuring compliance with data protection regulations wherever you are in the world. Next, technical robustness and safety are also super important to help make sure that AI systems operate effectively and without unintended consequences or malfunctions. Generative AI should also consider the broader impact on society and the environment, promoting positive outcomes and sustainability. And lastly, as we said before, human oversight and control are indispensable. AI systems should be designed to serve human interests and not infringe on human decision making. Ultimately, with a robust ethics framework and adherence to ethical principles and